So thank you so much, CBER and the online conference, Professor Datta, Ma'am Bonya, Suchitra Madam. Thank you so much for this opportunity and the lovely participants here and the great papers that have been presented. Mine is People-Centered Leadership in the Digital Workspace, Strategies for Engagement and Performance. When we talk about it, so what are the points? Just let me explain a few things. It encompasses the study on increasingly digitalized world, its impact on leadership strategies with rewards to employee engagement and performance. That is what my study encompasses. When we talk about the current century, it is defined rapidly by technological advancements and digital transformation. We talk about virtual collaboration, hybrid work models, technology-mediated communication. These changes create opportunities for efficiency, flexibility, and global connectivity. They also pose challenges like digital fatigue, employee isolation, and declining engagement. Leadership is crucial in balancing technological efficiency with employee well-being, motivation, and performance. Effective digital leadership requires people-centered approaches, emphasizing empathy, trust, and support. So the literature review part talks about digital workspaces rely on technology, remote and hybrid models, boosting flexibility, but causing fatigue, isolation, and low engagement. Leadership is crucial in managing these challenges, yet most studies are qualitative with few large-scale quantitative analysis. Research overemphasizes transformational leadership while servant leadership focused on empathy and employee growth remains underexplored. Employee engagement is a key mediator between leadership and outcomes, but studies on digital well-being and fatigue are limited. So SDT helps us or can explain, that is self-determination theory, how leadership fulfills autonomy, competence, and relatedness needs, but is rarely applied in digital context. The link between people-centered leadership and innovation in digital workplaces remain underexamined. When I talk about my gaps, the research gap and contribution, lack of large-scale empirical studies testing leadership engagement performance models in digital workplaces, overemphasis on transformational leadership with limited exploration of servant leadership or comparative models, scarcity of quantitative studies examining mediators, engagement, digital well-being, and moderators, age, and what kind of moderators are we talking about? Age, digital skills, and culture. Limited integration of self-determination theory in workplace leadership research, few cross-cultural quantitative studies testing the universality of people-centered leadership in digital contexts, underexplored connections between leadership and innovation outcomes in digital environments. The objectives: to examine the impact of transformational and servant leadership on employee engagement in digital workplaces, and to investigate the mediating role of employee engagement in relationship between people-centered leadership and performance outcomes. Also to assess the role of digital well-being in mitigating digital fatigue and enhancing engagement, and to test whether people-centered leadership fosters innovation capability in digital environments. Addressing the underdeveloped link between leadership and innovation outcomes. The last one, to explore cultural and contextual considerations in digital workplace leadership, highlighting the need for cross-cultural quantitative evidence. Based on the objectives and theoretical groundings, the following hypotheses are proposed. Now, this is H1. Transformational leadership positively influences employee engagement in digital workplaces. Second, servant leadership positively influences employee engagement in digital workplaces. Third, digital well-being positively influences employee engagement and reduces digital fatigue. And fourth, employee engagement positively influences employee performance and digital workplaces. Fifth, employee engagement mediates the relationship between transformational leadership and employee performance. Sixth, employee engagement mediates the relationship between servant leadership and employee performance. Seventh, employee engagement mediates the relationship between digital well-being and employee performance. And eighth, people-centered leadership, transformational and servant, positively influences innovation capability through employee engagement. The methodology used here is the methodology that I have applied here is quantitative cross-sectional survey design to examine hypothesized relationships among leadership styles, mediators, and outcomes. Structural equation modeling was utilized to analyze for the analysis and enabling of simultaneous assessment of multiple interrelated constructs. The population consisted of employees from digitally enabled organizations across sectors such as education, IT, finance, and services. Using purposive sampling, individuals with at least 6 months of experience working remotely or in hybrid setting were targeted. Out of 350 collected responses, 320 valid cases were retained, achieving 91.4% usable response rate. Data collection was conducted through an online survey distributed via professional networks such as LinkedIn, organizational mailing lists. Ethical approval and participant confidentiality ensured. All items were rated on a 5-point Likert scale, 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. Validated scales from prior studies were adopted with minor contextual adjustments. Measures, transformational leadership measured with 7 items from multi-factor leadership questionnaire, which is mentioned. Servant leadership measured with 6 items adapted from Leadin et al. Digital well-being measured with 5 items adapted from Zeng et al. Employee engagement measured with 9 items, performance measured with 5 from Koopmans, and innovation capability measured with 6 items adapted from Jensen. Data analysis. Data was analyzed SMART PLS 4.0 with partial least squares SEM method. The analysis included reliability and validity assessments, Cronbach alpha, composite reliability, discriminant validity, structural modeling testing via bootstrapping, and equation for predictive accuracy and relevance. We can very well see the results. Cronbach alpha greater 0.7 for all constructs. Items are internally consistent. Second, when I talk about composite reliability, strong construct reliability, good convergent validity, constructs explain majority of item variance, and overall measurement model is reliable and valid, suitable for SEM analysis. Discriminant validity. Again, if I talk about HTMT values, lesser than 0.85 for all construct pairs. Satisfactory validity. Each construct is distinct from other constructs, confirming they measure unique concepts. Overall, the measurement model shows good discriminant validity, supporting SEM analysis. I straight go to the discussion point, impact of people-centered relationship. The study provides strong empirical evidence for importance of people-centered leadership in digital workplaces. Both transformational leadership and servant leadership, as mentioned, that is the figures, significantly enhance employee engagement. These results support prior research emphasizing motivation, trust, recognition, and inspiration, and leaders can maintain high engagement even in virtual or hybrid environments through relational and supportive behaviors. Role of digital well-being. If I talk about digital well-being, emerged as a significant factor, a very prominent factor influencing employee engagement. This finding addresses challenges like digital fatigue and burnout in remote work. Leaders who promote healthy digital practices encourage breaks and support autonomy and help employees sustain focus and motivation. Results align with STD, highlighting importance of fulfilling needs for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Mediating role of engagement, if I talk about, it functions as a key mediator linking relationship and well-being outcomes. Engagement translates positive leadership behaviors into higher productivity and creativity. Implications. The study provides practical guidance for leaders, organizations, and employees to enhance engagement, performance, and innovation in digital workplaces. For leaders, practice people-centered leadership blending by blending transformational vision and inspiration and servant behaviors, promote digital well-being, though healthy online work habits and flexibility. That is through healthy online habits and flexibility, empower employees with autonomy, recognition, and opportunities for innovation, and monitor and sustain engagement using digital feedback tools. And then the last point, let me just, overall, if we talk about people-centered leadership supported by organizational policies and proactive employee behavior fosters a highly engaged, innovative, and high-performing digital workplaces capable of thriving in remote and hybrid environments. And this is the conclusion. People-centered leadership is vital for success in digitally enabled workplaces. When combined with organizational support and digital well-being initiative, it fosters employee engagement, innovation, and high performance. Human-centered and digitally adaptive leadership strategies help organizations address challenges for remote and hybrid work. Future research should further examine how leadership and technology and employee well-being interact. The goal is to develop evidence-based practices for building sustainable and high-performing digital workplaces. That will be all from my side. Thank you.